Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to be covering what is in our eyes the best wheel, tire, and rotor setup for the Sur-Ron X, and we'll be going into detail on why we chose to run everything that we did. On the front of the bike we chose to go with a 21-inch rim and a motorcycle tire. This is the Shinko 524, but we've ridden this tire on the Sur-Ron in the past on the 19-inch rim, but now with a 21 we went with an 80/100 21 size tire. And the reason that you want a bigger tire in the front is it rolls over stuff easier, it handles better, it has more traction, and it also looks better with the proportions of the bike as it lifts it up and also increases the length of the bike. So it brings it from the Sur-Ron a little bit closer to a dirt bike type of feel, which we appreciate on the kind of riding that we do. So the one thing that you have to keep in mind when you do go to the 21-inch front, at least for the Wicked Wheel Works and the hub that we have here, is the stock 203 millimeter rotor. Although it is a 6-bolt pattern, it is not the same one that you need. So we decided to take this opportunity to go to a 220 mil rotor with the proper brake pattern. This one right here is 2 millimeters thick. It is a SRAM centerline, and this will have better heat dissipation with the thickness, and also it'll have better braking power just because it's a larger rotor. Now we're on the Fox 40, and the Fox 40 has a mounting hole for a 203 millimeter like rotor caliper setup. So when you move up, you need a 17 millimeter spacer. Now the one that we chose to go with was from North Shore Billet, and we will post a link in the description for everything that you see here. But this is a good setup for us. If you're doing this on the D&M, it doesn't matter. You're probably still going to need this. The only difference is you're still going to keep the mounting bracket that comes on the stock fork. Now we're going to talk about what we chose to go with on the rear. When you're choosing what you want on the rear, you do have a couple of options. You could either do an 18-inch diameter rim or a 19-inch diameter rim. Typically when you're buying dirt bikes, you know, the Supercross or motocross bikes will come with a 19-inch rim, and the trail bikes will come with an 18. And the reason that is because when you're rolling over rocks and roots and stuff, having more tire and more sidewall, you can run lower pressures theoretically and have a little bit more protection on your rim. That being said, the Sur-Ron is so light, we think that the 19-inch is like more than sufficient, and in our opinion it also looks better when paired with the 21-inch tire. The proportions are a little bit nicer, and when you talk about the overall diameter here, that's going to be the same versus the 19-inch rim or the 18-inch rim, because we're just talking about how much space does the tire take up, right? But your overall diameter, you can only fit so much in that trailing arm, so you're not really getting any bigger tires outside like circumference wise on the Sur-Ron with an 18-inch rim. So we went with the 19-inch there. We went with a 190/19 Michelin Starcross 5, the soft compound version of that tire, and we did have to trim the side knobs to get it to fit. When choosing rear tires, you kind of have two options. You can either go with a 70/100 19-inch rear tire, which is what we've ran in the past, and that doesn't require any modification. The problem is it's very hard to find an actual rear tire tread in that size. So you'll see a lot of people running front tire treads on the rear, and just overall that size is like pretty small and it doesn't get enough traction. So we chose to up it a little bit. There are some 190 19-inch tires that don't need modification. We've heard that the Kinda Trackmaster K760 in that size does not need any trimming, but this is a really good rear tire here, and we wanted something that we could feel confident in knowing we could put serious power down and not have any issues. The trimming on this is not that bad, and you just get a much beefier tire on here. And in our opinion, it's totally worth the hassle. So for the rear hub, depending on which one you get, you'll either use the stock rear or the stock front on the rear hub, and that's nice. You don't have to buy one. It's 203, which is more than enough. If you're running good brake pads, you probably won't have any issues with that. Most of your stopping power comes from the front, so if you have a bigger rotor in the front, then you'll be able to stop just fine. Moving on to the thickness. So the stock rims are 1.4 inches wide, and these Wicked Wheelwork rims are 1.6 inches wide. And what that does is it pulls the beads of the tire out a little bit, and it just flattens the side of the sidewall. So it points everything upwards and keeps things tucked in a little bit more. So it helps with tire fitment. You can get away with a little bit less trimming, and possibly, some tires, it might make the difference between having to modify them or not. We also chose to go with a NewTek Tubeless 2.0 setup. I've already installed it in here, so that's why I'm just holding up the stickers. But the reasons you want to go with the NewTek Tubeless is because it's the only option that is a tubeless rim lock combo. So it's basically just a bladder on the inside that locks the bead around the rim. So even if you do get a puncture flat or whatever happens, even if you drop your pressure down all the way, you can trust that your tire won't be coming off of the rim. So that's really going to help when you need to air down in super muddy situations and not have to worry about, getting a flat or knocking your tire off the rim. So we chose to go with that, and then we're also running sealant with this system. So if we do get any puncture flats, we don't have to worry about it either. The major downside to the NewTek system is cost and difficulty of installation. We're not doing an installation video because there's already a really good one from the company on YouTube. If you are thinking about getting this, I would check out that video so you know what you're getting yourself into. I did it by myself, and it was a serious pain in the ass. I want to point out that the Wicked Wheelworks tire sets are custom made to the exact specifications of the Sur-Ron in order to achieve the ideal balance between strength and weight. These rims are both lighter and stronger than the stock rims, tires not included. These rims and tires did more than any other upgrade to improve the handling, looks, and capabilities of the Sur-Ron. Accompanied with a fork and controller, I would wager that your bike gives full-size dirt bikes a run for their money on the trails. In the future, we will be selling these wheel sets on our website, so if you are interested, please keep a lookout on our Instagram or YouTube channel for news on that. Thanks for watching this video, and if you found it helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content like this.